A wonderful achievement for Jye McNeil last season, being the Victorian Jockey Premiership winner. And he's our very special guest today, Jye. It's got a nice ring to it, mate. Great to see you.
It certainly does, Richo. Thanks for having me.
Great season, mate. It's a season that just developed, and the battle between you and Stacky was fascinating.
Yeah, it was a long season. It was definitely rewarding to get over the line in the end. There was a lot of hard work, and as you say, Stacky pushed me really hard, so that made it extra special.
Oh, no doubting. And also being fourth in the Metro Premiership, it's obviously something you're focusing on, and you've emerged as the young kid to now one of the key players in Victorian racing.
Yeah, it took me quite a while to sort of develop connections and really get the ball rolling after my apprenticeship. But I feel as though I'm getting a fair bit of momentum now, and with the Spring Carnival looking the way it could be, I'm really excited for what's ahead.
So when you look back at the season that just was, is it something that just gained momentum? Was it a goal at the start? Hey, I'd love to win a premiership, or is it something that just evolved due to good form early?
Yeah, well, I went quite close. Last season, I rode over 100 winners, and I was about third from memory. So it was obviously, it gave me confidence for this season, and it was something that I knew that I could possibly achieve. And I reassessed where I was at about the halfway point. And once I knew that it was something that was going to be reachable, myself and my manager, Reese Murphy, we pushed really hard. And thankfully we had, the right rides for the right trainers and connections. And it was fantastic.
Did you always want to be a jockey?
Not always. I didn't actually ride a horse until I was about 14 years of age. And so I actually was lucky enough to pick it up quite naturally, and I went over to Gerald Egan's in Mansfield and pursued my apprenticeship there, and I learned a lot there, and that was fantastic for me.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Kerrang on a dairy farm. We had over 800 acres on the Murray River, so there's no better way to grow up than motorbikes and farm equipment. But that was fantastic.
So surrounded by racing people. I mean, Kerrang's got nice history and tradition in an area where racing's so strong. Were you surrounded by racing as a young man?
Well, Dad always had. He was sort of mixed up in racing all the time. He's got a trainer's license, and his father before that. So I guess racing was in the blood to some point, and I got the bug through going to the races and watching his horses. And I guess as I got that little bit older and a little bit smarter, I worked out what the best job in the industry was going to be.
Doing the form, is that something that's, like you said, you got an interest in it? So you're starting to do the form and assess the right horses, or is it more from looking at the actual thoroughbred and appreciating the thoroughbred?
Yeah, more the individual for me, but definitely I was probably more excited to do form back then than I am now. But Dean Lester helps me out a lot with my form, so I'm very lucky in that area.
You're lucky to have him in your corner. You're also very lucky to go to the Master of the Apprentices. Tell us about Gerald Egan and what makes him so special when you look at an unbelievable amount of apprentices that have gone through his school, in effect.
Yeah, I guess he's in a fantastic area where he can send you to places like Corowa and Albury, where it doesn't affect your claim as much as it does in Victoria. And, once he's got you educated and you've got some sort of race smarts, then you can sort of pursue your career in Victoria. That's how I sort of did it, and that's how he's working it with my brother at the moment. And I guess that's a great foundation for the young riders to sort of go down that path.
Are you a natural lightweight?
I am. I'm very lucky, Richo, and you'll be seeing me ride quite light over the Spring Carnival ahead, and I have done previously. I'm going to try not to ride too light, though. 52 kilos might pull me up this year, I'm hoping, but if there's something worth riding under that, I'll definitely be able to get down to it.
52 kilos, that seems extremely light. How tall are you?
I reckon I'm about 5'9", something like that. I'm quite tall, but thankfully Mum and Dad give me light bones, and very natural, and I find it very easy to get down to the lightweight.
When you reflect on your apprenticeship, I would argue that the greatest achievement you had and achieved as apprentice jockey was actually finding the beautiful Jessica Payne in your life. Tell us about the association.
Yeah, fair point. So I, as we've touched on, did my apprenticeship in Mansfield, and she did hers in Benalla, which aren't too far apart. And that's how we got to know each other, and we've been together quite a while now. You're going to get me in trouble if I can't remember the exact year, so I'm not even going to try and guess. But yeah, it'd be getting close to 10 years now.
Can you remember when the first time you saw that beautiful young lady?
No, I actually can't. I reckon it might have been in Kerrang at on the first time that we actually met each other, but because both our families live there as well, so I reckon it might have been at home when we first met, but I'm not too sure, Richard.
Did she do all the talking?
Yeah, definitely.
She can go, and you don't say much.
No, exactly. Just let her do it all.
And now she's just given birth to your first child together, a beautiful young son called Oakley. Describe that experience to us.
Yeah, it was a pretty special moment, as you would know, Richo.
Yeah.
That initial, that initial cry and moment that you spend with your newborn for the first time was, like no other moment, like no other premiership can give you. It was just a very, very special moment, and I'm glad that she could give that to us for sure. I'm hoping by the time spring's here, he's into a nice routine. He's sleeping really well in between his feeds at the moment, so just a little bit of broken sleep, which is making us tired, just more so than me. But yeah, I'm sure by the time spring's here, we'll be in a nice little routine for sure.
Well, that couch just behind you, mate, that might end up having your name on it.
It already does.
Let's reflect on a moment that you'll never forget. Apart from, what an amazing 12 months you've had. The birth of Oakley, and also your first Group 1. And, of course, what a place to have it at fabulous Flemington, to win a Turnbull with a horse who rehabilitated. At one stage, we thought Kingswell Dream would never race again. In fact, we were concerned about his life out of the Cox Plate, where he fractured a pelvis. He's put all that behind him. You've teamed up with him. Take us through the day.
Yeah, everything was it was my best opportunity, my shortest priced runner in a Group 1, and he was still about 15 to 1 from memory, and everything just went to plan, Richo. We had a nice barrier. We lobbed into a lovely position. We're able to edge the stablemate Finch out of the way and get clear galloping room, top of the straight. From then on, it was just a matter of hanging on. He was coming back at us, and it was a big enough margin that I knew I knew I'd won, and I could celebrate and enjoy the win, and it was a very special moment for sure.
What about that last 100 metres, mate? When you're riding out and Finch is coming at you and you're thinking, finally, I'm going to win a Group 1. Can you describe to us mere mortals what's that like?
Well, because I edged him out of the way, and I was able to put a margin on him, I thought straight away I'm home. And when he started pegging me back, I was like, oh no, because not only if he had to peg me back and I don't win a Group 1, well, if he comes back and beats me, then I've gone too early. So not only do I get beat, but it would be my fault. So I was a little bit panicky towards the end, but really grateful to all the connections and to the horse. It was my first ride on him, and I'm actually booked in to ride him this spring carnival, so looking forward to that.
What's the minutes like after it when you hit the line and the adrenaline's still there, and then you're doing post-race interviews and everyone's talking about your first Group 1? Can you describe that?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a weird moment, Richo, because you've got all this excitement and all this, energy to really celebrate and enjoy the moment, but you got no one to do it with because you've just crossed the line. It's just you and the horse. So I guess it's a special moment for you and the horse to really enjoy the win. But it wasn't really till I got back to Scale, my valet Possum, Jordan Deany was there, and we had a big hug and celebrated, and that was a pretty special moment. And then obviously you get back to the room and all the boys start to really get around you, and then it all starts to sink in. And I got to celebrate with Jess and a few mates that night over a bit of dinner, and that was fantastic as well.
So that Group 1 win, has that whet the appetite for the spring? You've got one and you say, gee, I want to get a lot more?
Yeah, it's great to be able to be called a Group 1 winning jockey, but now we want multiple, Richard.
Who do you model your style on? Is there one jockey around the world that you look at and go, I want to be like him?
There's probably not one jockey. I try to get a few different riders that I think that I like the styles of, and try to combine it. A massive person that I follow was Corey Brown. I thought he had a magnificent style, and I also, being under the same manager as Mark Zahra, I try to watch him a fair bit and pick up little things off him. But yeah, I try to look at a few different areas, and as I say, combine it into myself.
Mate, you've all grown up. How quickly that happened.
I know. I was actually just saying to Jess before, it's coming up 10 years this year that I'll be riding, and it honestly feels like 5.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, I think most of the jockeys around and the racing people predict you to be the new young star that's emerging, and it staggers me that you're saying you've been riding for nearly a decade.
Yeah, it's gone that quick. I still feel like I'm an apprentice, but I'm still learning all the time, so that might be why.
Okay, you've got the Victorian Premiership under your belt. Is the Metro Premiership the new goal?
Yeah, it's going to be a much tougher goal because obviously we don't have as many meetings, and we've got really competitive, strong competition. But I think it would be silly not to have that as your goal. It's obviously something that we set out to achieve, and coming fourth in it last year gives me confidence heading into this year, and see how we go.
Yeah, fourth behind Craig Williams, Damien Oliver and Dwayne Dunn. These old buggers are hard to get past, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly are. And you obviously got Mark Zahra, who went on a holiday as well. I probably wouldn't have got past him otherwise, and also Damien Lane, who went over to Japan. So if them guys stay, all of a sudden it's even tougher. But we'll keep working hard and see what we can do.
Kingswood Dreams booked for the spring. You've got any other exciting horses that you're trying to get involved in for the big spring carnival?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to sit on a few backs that were contenders over the last spring. One of them was away game. I partnered her in Gallop at Sandown during the week, and also was lucky enough to jump out Liar, who is part of the Freedman team, and also Hanseatic, who is also part of the Freedman team at Flemington on Monday. So hopefully something can come of that, and it's only early days yet, but we'll see how we go, Richard.
Mate, you're set for a huge spring. Everyone's saying that you are the next big rising star. And I can tell that Jess has taken control of all the decor. Your place looks beautiful. Clearly, you've had nothing to do with that.
No, definitely not. I haven't done any designing or cleaning, that's for sure, Richard.
Hey, please pass on absolute love to her, and hope she settles in as a new mum, and Oakley continues to allow you to get some sleep, mate. We can't wait to see you in the spring, and hopefully one day you might actually be a Lexus Melbourne Cup winner. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, that'd be all right.
Brilliant to see you, mate.
Will do. Thanks, Richard.